Hi, this is Greta, and this is my very first yoga video, so I'm excited to be sharing from Mexico. Our friends have a beautiful house down here, so I thought it would be a nice space to have a nice little yoga video. So let's get started, and the only prop you'll need is a blanket or a mat if you have one. You can use blocks if you'd like, or bolsters, anything else to make you comfortable. And we'll just get started in Sukhasana, easy seat, or another seat if you'd like, maybe sending one leg out long or both legs, maybe coming into hero's pose, just wherever you are, finding yourself right on your mat. And we're going to be in a slow vinyasa style yoga today. So take it at your own pace, listen to your body, and meet yourself where you're at on your mat. And I'm so glad to be here with you. And you can soften your gaze or close your eyes as we get started today. And just tuning into your breath. Noticing where your breath is at. And letting go of anything on your agenda from earlier today. Just fully arriving in this space. We'll take a few deep breaths together as we settle in. Nice big inhale through your nose. And a long, slow exhale. Deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly and your chest. And release. One more big breath in. Hold it at the top. And exhale. And you can set an intention for your practice today. This could be a word, a feeling, anything that comes to your mind and your heart as we settle into our practice. When you're ready, you can crack your eyes open. Send those arms up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale as you sweep them down. Finding some light movement. Inhale, arms high. Maybe gazing up. And exhale. Sweep those arms down. One more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. We'll find some gentle shoulder movements. Making a circle with your shoulders, maybe even involving your arms if you'd like. Finding what works best for you today. Meeting yourself where you're at. And let's reverse those circles when you're ready. And then bring your right hand down to the mat. Left arm up and overhead, gazing up. Nice broad chest. Heart lifted, gaze lifted. And then drop that left hand to your right knee. And twist over to the right, bringing your right hand back behind you. As you inhale, crown of your head to the sky. And exhale, twist. Inhale, both hands up to the sky. And exhale, drop that left hand down. Right arm up, chest lifted. Gazing up at the sky. Exhale, drop your right hand down to your left knee, and then twist over to the left, finding some length in your spine as you inhale. And twist just a little bit deeper on your exhale. Inhale, both arms through center. Exhale, interlace your hands and palms forward. Good. Finding a nice big stretch. Maybe sending your palms over just a couple inches to the left. And over to the right. Back through center. Release your hands as you walk them forward onto the mat for a forward fold. Inhale as you lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold forward. Meeting yourself just as you are, maybe tenting those fingertips up. Now, let's find our first child's pose on your mat. Big toes together, knees out as wide as comfortable. And then send your hips back onto the earth. Melt your forehead to the mat. Maybe arms out long to the front or back behind you. Knowing that you can always come to this position anytime you need it. If you need a breath. Then let's walk ourselves up into tabletop. Stacking your hips over your knees. Shoulders over wrists, and really broadening all 10 of those fingers out onto the mat. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows. So as you inhale, gaze forward and drop your belly. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone. Take a few of these at your own pace with your own breath. Finding some movement in your hips, your shoulders, your spine. Linking your breath to movement. Connecting your body and your mind with your breath. And back to tabletop when you're ready. And let's open up those wrists today. So turn your fingertips so that they're either pointing at your knees or out to the side on your mat. Kind of adjusting your body to meet the sensation. Maybe rocking from side to side, front to back. Our wrists get pretty tight through the day if we're typing on the computer. Good to open them up, especially as we use our wrist a lot through Vinyasa Yoga. And then any other movement you may want, maybe coming onto the tops of your hands for a moment lightly. Just listening to what your body needs in this moment. And then back to tabletop when you're ready. Inhale as you send your right leg out long behind you. And let's give a couple of circles with your ankle. An option to stay right here, or maybe bring your left arm forward, drawing your belly button to your spine, balancing tabletop. As you exhale, round your spine, bring your elbow to your knee. And inhale, open out wide. Exhale, round your spine, elbow to knee. We'll do 2 more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Drop your left hand to the earth. Send that right leg out long behind you. And then plant your foot back behind you on the mat. As you inhale, open your right arm high to the sky. Maybe gazing up at the sky. Stack your shoulders and your hips. Modified side plank. We're going to thread the needle just as we are. So bring your right hand underneath of your left as you exhale. And then inhale, open right arm high. We'll do 2 more just like that. Exhale. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, thread the needle. And we'll meet on an inhale, arm high to the sky. Exhale, as you bring your torso up, arms out to a T. And fold over your straightened right leg. Chest is lifted, gaze is lifted. Exhale, as you cartwheel your arms to the front of your mat, finding tabletop. Really spreading out all 10 of those fingers. Inhale, send your left leg out long behind you. Maybe giving a couple of circles with your ankle. And you can stay right here, or maybe bringing your right arm forward, balancing tabletop. Drawing your belly button to your spine. As you exhale, round your spine, elbow to knee. And inhale, open out, arms straight, legs straight. Exhale, round your spine. 2 more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, open out wide. Exhale, round your spine. Drop your right hand to the earth. And left leg out long behind you. Kickstand that right foot over as you open up your left arm to the sky. Modified side plank. Maybe gazing up at your hands, stacking your shoulders and your hips. And let's thread the needle on the side. So as you exhale, bring your left hand underneath you. And inhale, left arm high. 2 more just like that. Exhale. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, thread the needle. And inhale, open out high. Exhale, as you bring your arms out to a T. And then fold over your straightened left leg. Gaze is lifted, chest is lifted. Exhale, cartwheel your arms back to the front of your mat, finding tabletop. Really spreading all 10 of those fingers out wide. Tuck your toes under. And let's take an option to hover our knees here for a moment, finding our core. Just hovering for a couple of inches. And then send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling your feet out right to left. Bringing your foot down closer to the earth. Finding a nice big stretch in your calves, your hamstrings. Imagining your body as a mountain, hips high to the sky. And then look forward in between your hands, tippy toe all the way to the front of your mat, and fold forward. Let's bend into our knees this first time, really finding some length in our spine with this forward fold. And grab onto opposite elbows as you gently sway from side to side. Ragdoll. Releasing some tension in your low back. Nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Exhale as you release your hands. Inhale, slowly rise up one vertebrae at a time. Head is last to lift. Mountain pose, Tadasana. And checking in with yourself here, feet hip distance apart or a little more narrow wherever you're at today. Maybe your big toes are touching. Shoulders down and back. Nice long spine. And inhale, both arms high to the sky. Exhale, sink down into chair pose. Weight in your heels. See if you can see your fingertips or your toes over top of your knees. Bend into those knees. Wiggle your toes. As you exhale, send your right leg back into high lunge. Stack your knee and your ankle. Find some length in your spine. Arms up overhead. Onto the ball of your back foot. As you inhale, open out into warrior two. Check in with your knee. Knee over your second toe. Gazing over your front hand. Palms down. Arms parallel with the earth. Shoulders down and back. Inhale, as you flip your front palm. Exhale, tip back, reverse warrior. Nice proud chest. Maybe gazing up at your hand, maybe taking that half bind with your right arm back behind you. Keep that bend in your front knee. Exhale, as you bring your elbow to your thigh or your left hand down, extended side angle, making a nice big line from your right fingertips all the way to your back toes. Nice proud chest. Inhale, as you straighten out your left leg, bring your left arm all the way as far forward as you can. Then drop it down onto your shin or the earth as you stack your shoulders. Maybe gazing up at your right hand, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Checking in with your feet. Is your front heel bisecting your back foot? Inhale, both arms out to a T. Pivot your feet to the side of your mat. Inhale, hands at your hips. And exhale as you fold forward, planting your hands to the earth, to blocks or to your shins, whatever is available to you. So you find a nice big stretch in your back of your legs. Nice big wide stance with your feet. Exhale, bring your hands up to your hips. And inhale, rise all the way up, torso lifted. Arms clasping overhead, gaze lifted. As you exhale, tip your body over to the right. Inhale, back through center. And exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, pivot those feet out 45 degrees. Arms out to a T. And sink down into goddess. Stack your knee and your ankle. Cactus those arms. Tuck your tailbone under. Nice long spine. Inhale, as you straighten your arms and legs. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the front of your mat. Finding runner's lunge. Frame your front foot with your hands. Engage your core, belly button to spine. And then exhale, send your left leg back into plank pose. Body in one straight line. Pressing away from your mat, engaging into all 10 of those fingers. And we'll take a nice easy flow. If you're at home and want to take the full flow, go for it. Let's come down to our knees. Shift our weight forward an inch. Lower halfway down onto the tops of your toes. Straighten out those arms, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And then belly down to the earth as you tuck your toes under. Shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Great job following along at home. This is my very first yoga video, so thank you for being here with me in Mexico. Look forward in between your hands. Jump, step, or hop forward and fold forward. Bending into those knees as needed. Rooting down into all four corners of your feet. And inhale, circle arms up overhead. Gaze is lifted, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands at heart center. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Inhale, both arms high to the sky. Exhale, as you sink down into chair pose, Utkatasana, weight in your heels, checking in with your toes. Nice long spine, arms all the way up to the sky. Inhale, as you send your right leg back long to high lunge. Bend into your front knee. Nice long spine, arms all the way to the sky. Stack your knee and your ankle. And inhale, as you open out, warrior 2. Shoulders down and back. Gaze over your front hand. Arms parallel with the earth. front heel bisecting your back foot. Inhale as you flip your front palm. Exhale, tip back, reverse warrior. Gazing up at your hand. Left hand melts down your leg. Or take that optional half bind with your left arm back behind you, if you'd like. Keeping that chest proud. Exhale as you bring your right elbow to thigh, extended side angle. Nice proud chest. Avoid collapsing into the earth, really keeping everything nice and long. Nice big line all the way from your left fingertips to your back foot. As you inhale, straighten your front leg. Send that right arm all the way forward and then drop it down onto your shin for triangle pose. Gaze up at your hand. Stack your shoulders. 2 straight legs, 2 straight arms. Finding what works best for your body. Inhale, both arms out to a T. Pivot your feet to the side of your mat. Inhale, hands at your hips. And exhale as you fold forward, planting hands to the earth, to your shins, whatever is available to you. As you find a nice big wide-legged forward fold, nice wide stance on your mat, 3 to 5 feet wide, depending on how tall you are, how long your legs are. Place your left hand directly underneath your nose on the earth, and then open out to the right arm high for a twist. Exhale, close that book, right hand down to the earth, and inhale, left arm high for a twist over to the left. Exhale, both hands to the earth. Hands up to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up into star pose. Arms out to the side. Nice big wide pose. Elongate your spine as you pivot your feet out 45 degrees. And exhale, sink down into goddess. Stack your knees and your ankle, finding that big stretch in your groin. Tuck your tailbone under. Nice tall spine. Cactus your arms up. Inhale as you straighten your arms and legs. Exhale, sink down into goddess. Inhale, straighten your arms and legs. Exhale, sink low. One more just like that. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink down, goddess. Let's plant our hands to the back of your mat, just in front of your right foot as you find Skandasana. Nice proud chest. Straighten out your left leg, toes to the sky. Maybe hands at heart center. Maybe taking that half bind, full bind with your arms. Maybe just keeping a nice proud chest with your hands on the earth. And then as you walk your hands through center, we'll take that over to the other side, bend into your left knee. Nice proud chest. As you straighten out your right leg, toes to the sky. Skandasana on the other side. Good job at home, following along with my very first yoga video. More to come, hopefully. I am nomadic after all. And let's walk our hands to the front of your mat. Frame your front foot, finding runner's lunge. And inhale as you send your front foot back to meet your back foot into plank pose. I will take an optional flow. I'm going to come down to my knees once again. Shift forward an inch. Lower halfway down. Send those elbows straight back into modified chaturanga. Onto tops of toes. Straighten out your arms. Upward facing dog or cobra. And then all the way down to your belly as you tuck your toes back under. Shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Look forward in between your hands. Jump, step, or hop forward. And fold forward. Inhale, circle arms up overhead. Ardha Hastasana. Exhale, hands at heart center. We're going to take a tree pose this afternoon. So root down into your right foot, all four corners. Find a spot that's 4 feet in front of you that's not moving. And then when you're ready, kickstand your left foot up onto your lower ankle, really opening your hip to the side. And you can stay just as you are, or maybe plant your left foot onto your leg, side of your leg, as you press equally with your leg into your foot into your leg. When you're ready, hands at heart center, and then grow your tree nice and tall, embracing any wobbles, any shakes. And then let's send that left leg back behind you, finding warrior 3. Maybe using the earth for balance. As you bring your body parallel with the earth. Maybe hands at heart center or all the way forward. And then when you're ready, drop your left foot down. Find warrior 1. Bend into your front knee. Arms up overhead. Torso pointing toward the front of your mat. As you stack your front knee and ankle, back foot out about 40 degrees. Exhale as you send your arms back behind you, interlace your hands, and then tip back for a nice gentle back bend. Exhale as you hinge forward over your bent front leg, humble warrior. Exhale as you release your hands to frame your front foot, finding runner's lunge. And inhale, right arm high to the sky for a twist. Maybe taking an optional half bind here with your right hand. Maybe not. And right hand back to the earth. Send your right foot back to meet your left to plank pose. And let's find our right hand right underneath of our nose on the mat. And open out over to the left. For side plank, left arm high to the sky. Maybe scissoring your feet out, one in front of the other. Maybe stacking your feet, maybe coming onto your right knee for a modified version. Stack your shoulders, your hips. As you exhale, left hand to the earth. Plank pose, let's drop to our knees once again. Shift forward an inch, lower halfway down, elbows straight back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Straighten out those arms, and then down to your belly as you tuck your toes under. Shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look forward in between your hands. Jump, step or hop forward, and fold forward. It's a beautiful day here in Mexico. I think it's going to be 75 degrees. Sun glistening already this morning. And inhale, both arms high to the sky. Exhale, hands at heart center. Let's find that tree over on the left foot. So root your left foot down, all four corners. Then find a spot that's not moving. 4 feet in front of you. As you kickstand your right foot up onto your ankle. Open out that hip. And this may be where you are today. Or maybe you bring your right foot up onto your left leg and press equally into your leg with your foot with your leg. Find your tree. Then when you're ready, hands at heart center. And then grow that tree, arms nice and tall, knowing that one side might be different than the other, different day to day. Just embracing where you are today. And then bring that right leg back behind you as you find warrior 3, paralleling your body to the earth. I'll move so you can see me if you need it, but trust me, you got this. Little micro bend in your front knee, maybe hands at heart center or forward or onto the mat for some stability. As you exhale, bring your right foot back onto the earth. Warrior 1. Back foot is pivoted out 40 degrees. Bend into your front knee. Torso pointing forward. Arms lifted. Chest nice and proud. As you exhale, send those arms back behind you. Interlace them. As you tip back for a nice gentle back bend on your inhale. And then exhale, fold over your bent front leg. Humble warrior. Exhale, release your hands to frame your front foot, finding runner's lunge. And inhale, left leg, left arm high to the sky. Maybe taking the half bind with your left arm. And then back into plank. Bringing your front foot back to meet your back foot. And let's find that side plank over on the other side. Left hand right underneath your nose on the earth, right underneath your shoulders. As you pivot over to the right arm high, stack your shoulders and your hips, finding side plank. Maybe scissoring your feet, maybe stacking one on the other, or bringing your left knee down, modified side plank. And then when you're ready, right hand back to the earth, plank pose. Let's come down to knees. Shift forward an inch, lower halfway down, elbows straight back. Modified chaturanga. Tops of toes, straighten out your front, your arms, upward facing dog, and then down to belly as you tuck your toes under. Shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Great job. Inhale, send your right leg high to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale. As you bring your knee into your chest, plant your knee behind your right wrist as you find pigeon pose, opening up your right hip, keeping your hips parallel. You can stay just like up nice and tall or fold forward, whatever is available to you this beautiful day. Be here for 5 more breaths. Really releasing anything you no longer need onto the mat. Any stress, tension. Okay, maybe that was more than 5. Let's place our hands underneath our chest. Tuck your back toe under. And inhale as you send your right leg high to the sky. Three-legged dog. Back into downward facing dog. This mat has been so slippy on me today. It's an interesting combination, but we're working with it. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale. Bring your knee into your chest. Then plant your left knee behind your left wrist as you find pigeon on the other side. You can stay nice and tall or you can fold forward. I'm going to come out of this pose just a tiny bit. My left hip does not need to be stretched any more than it is. Listening to my body today. On your next inhale, plant your hands below your chest. Tuck your back toe under. And inhale as you send your left leg high to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Let's come down to our knees. Pivot our legs around, take a seat. We're going to find a boat pose today. I'll give you a couple options. So really root down into your sitting bones. And then feet hip distance apart, legs are parallel. Option 1, just tip back until you feel your abs engage. Maybe grab onto the back of your hamstrings. Option 2, bring your shins up so that they're parallel with the earth. Maybe grabbing onto the back of hamstrings here. Option 3, nice, strong, straight legs, engaging your core, straight arms as you find your variation of boat pose today. And we'll breathe. And let's shift over to the right. Inhale. Exhale, over left. Inhale. back through center. We'll do one more over to the right. Exhale, inhale center, and exhale over left. Inhale back through center. Good job. Drop your feet to the earth. And let's lay on back onto our backs. Feet hip distance apart. Legs are parallel. Find the back of your heel with your fingertips. We're going to find a bridge pose. So you will want to be looking straight up and not at the screen. When you're ready, send your hips high into bridge. Squeeze your glutes together. Nice strong quads. Finding this gentle inversion, heart overhead. Sending a nice signal to our nervous system to relax, release. Slowly lower back down one vertebrae at a time. And let's send our right leg high to the sky. We'll do a one-legged bridge, being mindful to keep your hips stable with each other. As you inhale, send your hips high. Hips parallel with the earth. Lower back down, send both legs high to the sky. Sending some feelings of thankfulness into your body for meeting you right where you're at today. At home, maybe you're with loved ones, maybe you're by yourself, maybe you're with your dog. And let's bring that right foot to the earth, left leg high. And then send both hips high to the sky. Lower back down. Drop both your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock and roll from side to side or make a little circle on your mat. Then bring both knees over to your right. Gazing left, keep your left shoulder onto the earth. Nice little twist over to the left. Bring both knees through center. And we'll take that twist over to your knees over to the left. Gaze over to the right, keeping your shoulders on the earth beneath you. Then both knees back through center. Let's grab onto outsides of our feet or ankles or shins as we find happy baby, bringing your knees closer to your chest, maybe rocking from side to side. Then bring the soles of your feet together as you find reclined butterfly pose, making a nice big diamond on your mat. Maybe interlacing your hands behind your head, whatever feels comfortable for you this afternoon as you find a nice restorative pose. And just noticing where your breath is at today. We're going to take a physiological sigh. This is something that we learn. We already know how to do when we're born. And it's deeply calming to our nervous system. It's going to be one big inhale, followed by a nice, slow, or a quick inhale. So 2 inhales together, and then a long, slow exhale. And we'll take a regular inhale now. And exhale. Deep breath in, filling up your belly. One more sip of air at the top. And exhale. We'll do 2 more, just like that. Nice big inhale. Filling up your belly. One more sip of air at the top. And release. Last big breath in, biggest breath of your day so far. One more sip of air at the top, filling up all your alveoli. And release. When you're ready, finding yourself in your final resting pose. Maybe it's Shavasana, maybe it's another pose that's calling to you. I'm going to send my legs out long. I'll knock my toes out to the side. And then palms facing upward. Shavasana is arguably the most important pose in yoga, as it allows everything we've done through our practice to integrate into our body, allowing us to calm our mind, our body, our spirit with our breath. Just allowing yourself to be here in this moment. As you relax your jaw, relax your forehead, relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your hands, relax your hips. Relax your legs. Relax your feet. You can stay here as long as you'd like. I will guide you out of Shavasana after a few minutes. But feel free to stay here 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever your body calls for. And gently bringing some movement back into your fingers, your toes, as you find yourself back in the present moment. Maybe giving a couple of circles to your wrists, your ankles, any movement that your body needs. As you return to your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. When you're ready, slowly roll over to the right side of your mat, using your arm as a little pillow. Drawing your knees close to your chest. And silently thanking yourself for showing up today on your mat. Whether you're in your PJs, whether it's morning, noon, night. Knowing that you showed up for you. And that's more than enough. Giving yourself the grace, the space to have an amazing week. When you're ready, slowly guide yourself up to sit. To Sukhasana. Well, thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I'm honored to guide you from beautiful Mexico today, and hope you have a wonderful week. Drop a comment below of something that you're thankful for today, and I will see you again soon. Namaste.